Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 32 of Lowry at Home. I'm your host, Naturalist Kirk. On today's program, we're going to be learning about ticks. Naturalist Lauren has collected all kinds of fabulous information to share with you. Before we get to that, though, I want to thank everybody who took the time yesterday to subscribe to our YouTube channel like we asked you guys to do. We are now at over 50 subscribers, but our goal is 100. So if you still have not subscribed to our new YouTube channel, we're trying to kick that off right by getting 100 subscribers. Look for the link down below in the comments, and you can just click on that and get subscribed and see if you can help us get over that hurdle of getting 100 subscribers. So, like I said, today is all about ticks, those wonderful blood-sucking little creatures. Let's find out more about them with naturalist Lauren. Take it away.
Hey everybody, it's Naturalist Lauren, and today we are talking all about ticks. Ticks belong to the arachnid family, which means they're cousins of scorpions, spiders, and mites. Ticks are also parasites, which means they get their food and survive by feeding off of others or hosts. In this case, it would be mammals, birds, reptiles, and amphibians. Now, Minnesota is home to roughly 12 different types of ticks, but we usually hear about the black-legged tick, or the deer tick, the American dog tick, or the wood tick, and the Lone Star tick. Now, the reason that we hear about those three is that those three are most commonly known to carry disease and pass it to hosts if they bite. Something a lot of people don't know is ticks only have 3 meals during their life, and really that's out of 4 phases in their life. First phase is they start as an egg. Second phase is they're a larva or a baby. Third phase is they're a nymph, kind of like a teenager. And fourth phase is they're an adult. When that egg hatches, it typically hatches in early spring, May, like right now. And once they're a larva, it's time for them to have blood meal number 1. To do this, they need to find something that's low on the forest floor that they can climb onto. That's usually mice or sometimes birds. Now, in order to do this, ticks don't fly and ticks don't jump. They only crawl. So they do something called questing, where they put their hind legs on a blade of grass or a shrubby branch, and they hold their arms up like this and say, "Pick me!" It's called questing, and it reminds me a lot of toddlers looking for attention. Once the tick has its host, it's going to bite that host. And the way that ticks get their food is they actually insert part of their mouth into the host, almost like a straw, to pull blood. And that takes about 3 to 5 days, sometimes longer. That first meal is where they can often get exposed to pathogens, bacteria carried in that host's blood. Once a larva has had its blood meal, it's pretty much set for a year, because its job now is to molt so it can turn into a nymph, and then it has to make it through fall and winter until the next spring, when as a nymph it goes for blood meal number 2. But now the important part is they've been carrying whatever pathogen or bacteria they may or may not have picked up as a larva. And it's not like they're giving blood to us when they eat, but sometimes they do salivate, they release saliva as they're getting their blood meal, and that saliva can carry the pathogen or the bacteria and transfer it to the host. So when the nymph goes for its meal, same thing, it does its questing, gets on that host, takes its meal, drops off. But now it's going to molt and turn into an adult. And if it can do this in springtime, it'll spend that summertime being adultish and doing adult things. And then in the fall, that adult will go for blood meal number 3. They're going to get that last meal, and then they're going to drop off, they're going to find a mate, and then they're going to lay eggs. And after they've laid eggs, they die. That's the end. A lot of people want to know, what can I do to protect myself from ticks? And really, there are the outside options and there are the inside options. First things first, if you're going outside, you should know what tick habitat looks like so you can prepare if you think you're headed to a place like that. Ticks are most commonly going to be found in wooded areas with shrubs, sometimes with tall grasses. If you go to a habitat that's going to support ticks and there are trails, you want to stay on those trails because those trails are often groomed and packed down, and you're less likely to brush up over an area that has a tick waiting for you. Another option is you can treat your clothing with a chemical called permethrin. You can find this chemical usually at a store that carries insect repellent, bug spray, things like that. And permethrin is a chemical that you put on your clothing, not on your skin. You can take your clothing and put it outside on the grass or on your driveway or something, spray it down with permethrin, let the chemical dry, and then you can put your clothing on. It's important that you're not putting the chemicals on your skin. Same thing, you can wear bug spray, especially if it's got the chemical DEET in it, but once again, you want to be putting on your clothes rather than your skin. Some people like to wear light colored clothing because it's easier to tell if a tick is on you. And some people can also pull their socks up high over their pant legs to protect ticks from being able to get up on their skin. Now, if you've been outside and you've taken all the precautions you can, there are some steps you can take inside to continue the prevention of tick bites. First step is you want to check for ticks when you get back home. Ticks like warm, wet places. So most likely you'll find them behind your knees, between your legs in that groin region, on your belly, around your belly button, in your armpits, and even behind your ears and in your hair. Those are your warm spots. Now, keep in mind though, ticks can be anywhere, so you really want to be double checking, even if it means asking somebody to check your back or something like that, or use a mirror. Another thing you can do is you can take your clothing after you've been in a tick area and you can put it in the dryer for about 10 minutes with high heat. That dry, high heat makes ticks really unhappy and can be fatal. Last thing is, if you do find a tick on your body, you're going to want to remove it as soon as possible. Take a tweezers and put it on the site where the tick is as close to the skin as possible. Then firmly but steadily remove the tick. You don't want to wiggle it around, because if you do, sometimes that breaks the mouth parts off and leaves them in your skin, which means you're still getting contact with that saliva and those pathogens. You then can take the tick, and my preferred method is to take a piece of tape, wrap it around the tick, and squeeze the sucker in so he can't go anywhere, and then throw it in the trash. That way you don't have to worry about that tick moving around your house. He's just gone. Keep in mind, ticks are part of the world just like any other living creature, and they are a part of how we recreate outside. But like all things, if you're smart and you make good decisions, you're more likely to be able to have a safe and healthy summer. So get outside, everybody, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. See ya.
Thank you, Lauren. That was really cool to see all that information. So reminders, please do keep on sending us your photos, your horizontal photos for our countdown slideshow at the beginning of the show. We appreciate seeing those. Also, go ahead and click on our YouTube link down below in the comments to subscribe to our new channel. And if you have any questions about ticks that Lauren did not answer, go ahead and put those in the comments, and she'll be sure to answer those on Friday's Questions and Answers show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. Bye-bye.